Ever wonder how planes get from place to place? Pilots, actually. Well, it's curious, because cars can do it, and they follow roads to get from A to B. Well, planes do the same thing, except from the air. And that's what today is all about, is teaching you how pilots get from point A to point B by flying, basically. And what we call it is cross-country flight planning. Cross-country is basically a long flight of more than 50 nautical miles, according to the CFRs, that gets you from the departure airport to the destination, but in a more organized manner. And that's what the cross-country flight planning is. In order to get the cross-country flight plan completed, we need a few materials and equipment. In order to have this done quickly and efficiently, this will actually be a lot briefer than one of my usual lessons. I am a certified flight instructor, and I'll attempt to teach you as quickly as possible, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. Okay, today's flight, let's say for flight planning purposes, will take place from Daytona Beach, which is an E6B flight computer, cross-country flight plan, pre-flight log, FAA flight plan form, and eventually we'll probably need a checklist. We don't need that now, we're not flying. And of course, a sectional chart, which is the equivalence of the map, except it's seen from the air. So all the airports and roads and anything that's really pertinent to our flight. Also, weight and balance form, let us know that we're within weight standards and all that. That is important, but just not now. And finally, along and behold, the plotter. Our plotter gives us distance and then heading, basically where the nose is going to be pointing over the ground from A to B. Okay, just to give you a glimpse of what we're looking at. Okay. The departure airport will be Daytona Beach, which is right over here, and Melbourne, International, Florida, is right down here. It's actually slightly over 50 nautical miles, which is nice. So that's something that a typical cross-country for a student. And it's pretty fun, easy, because it's a straight line. Okay, so we get right down to it. Let's look at the cross-country flight plan. We'll skip these two sections since we'll have to look up the information. Basically all it is the departure and destination airport, more detailed information about runway lengths and frequencies, things that way. Everything is all in, basically all on one paper, and we don't have to shuffle around books and other pieces of papers in the cockpit. We want to be as organized as possible. So this is the pre-flight log, and we have two sections here. Basically this is going to be more of the pre-flight portion, like the pre-flight log, and this is more of the navigation log. The navigation log is just going to be more actual than anything else. This is an estimate, this is more actual. So we'll do this actually when we're flying, and since we're not flying, we're not really going to worry about it. This is the pre-flight log, and we have two sections here. Basically this is going to be more of the pre-flight portion, like the pre-flight log, and this is more of the navigation log. The navigation log is just going to be more actual than anything else. This is an estimate. This is more actual. So we'll do this actually when we're flying. And since we're not flying, we're not really going to worry about it for this lesson or this presentation. Okay, first thing we want to do is kind of have a pen, paper, pencil. Actually, yeah, you'll fill all this out, let them know. Somebody's going to be on the phone, just really actually pretty serious sounding person, and they don't really laugh at all. I don't know if they have a sense of humor. But departure point, proposed time, Zulu, cruising altitude, route of flights, just so they know where to look for you, just in case. Departure airport, destination airport is going to be Melbourne. Time en route, you want to be a little on the cautious side, so you add, we said 43 minutes, we could put an hour. Remarks, none. Fuel on board, you always want to be cautious and conservative about fuel. So we'll say, instead of 4.5 hours worth of fuel, we'll say 4 hours. Alternator port, none. We don't actually need an alternator port on this one. If we did, and we were like zigzagging and going all kinds of different places and long cross countries, let's say from here to Bahamas and over the water and stuff like that, yeah, it'd be nice to have an alternate airport. And pilot's name, address, phone number, that's me. The instructor extraordinaire. And number aboard, 2, well, that's me and my student, or I don't have anyone now, so just myself. And aircraft color, white, black stripes, that's it. It's very basic, very, very basic cross-country flight planning. We get into detail, and that would take hours and hours and days. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, feel free to contact me anytime, 1-800, just kidding. And hope to see you up there, and happy cross-country flight planning, happy flying, and see you around.